I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip the switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders.
Welcome into Sports Money's Pregaming here at 6 p.m. It's Monday through Friday. It's your final destination for all of the sports betting information you need between line movement, cash flow, splits, injury updates, the direction the wind is blowing, rain and related elements, whose girlfriend's been stolen by the other team's quarterback, if they're Charmin soft, and everything else that factors into what you need to know to make winning sports bets. You know, been doing this a long time. On screen, only a few years. But I've learned when you earn your nickname, you have to use it. And I guess at this point, we're just going to say, listen, this is the winningest sports gambling show on YouTube. I have been privileged to see some of the sharp capper shows. Some folks put their records right out there, and I'm telling you, without a doubt, unequivocally, despite yesterday, and we'll talk about it, nobody wins more than we do right here. You know, it's funny. I talked about this the other day. They were like, wow, you want 65 units. Seasoned gamblers, other gamblers that you guys watch on screen. Well, tell me some of your trends. What kind of trends did you look for? 65 units in hockey is amazing, and I thought so. Until I saw that we're up almost 120 units now in Major League Baseball, and we still have 2 months to go. So we are the winningest damn sports show on YouTube. And it makes me feel good to say it. You know, I'm not going to say better. I'm just going to say we do it different. Give you guys a little Venn diagram through. I always love coaching and educating. And if you're not familiar with a Venn diagram, you got a circle over here. You got a circle over there. Where those two circles overlap, there's a little circle. That's us. They got shows. They got people. We got shows and people. We just win more than everybody. So we're going to take it. We're going to own it. And I'm pretty fucking excited about the direction we have in front of us here, you guys. Big show tonight. Dana White Contender Series starts off week number 1. We got 10 weeks to go. 10 weeks to go. And it starts tonight. So I hope you guys are ready because Tuesdays, you know, hey, we were fortunate. We had some baseball. I loved capping the baseball card with my guy Sharpie and then getting together live on screen when he wasn't working. We would do that thing. But here we go. We're locking in for 10 weeks. In about 3 weeks, we'll be locking in for Thursday night football. I said that we are the winningest sports show on YouTube. Nobody wins more money than we do live. We've already established that. So we're going to go right back to it and get it done on Thursday. Then we'll follow it up with Saturdays. Then we'll follow it up with, well, I guess whatever else floats our goddamn boats because we've earned the right. And so I'm looking forward to it. You guys going to have a lot of fun as we get ready for this season. As I mentioned, lots of things coming. Lots of things coming down the pike. Going to have some new cappers coming in here. Shoot down bets so you can throw a hot dog through that circle. It's called the Venn diagram. You guys look it up. You know, and then inside that Venn diagram, you create a triangle. This is some advanced marketing strategy. Don't tell anybody I'm sharing this with you guys. There's 3 legs to that triangle. They're all equal. And the most important thing about the legs in that triangle, they're unique to this channel, they're relevant, and they're defendable. Unique to this channel, nobody wins more than we. It's relevant because we're here to bet sports. And it's defendable because I can show it to you over on BetStamp and prove nobody can hold a candle to what we're doing here. Hey, your boy Mikey Money may have been involved in advanced marketing and sales back in the day. I'm just letting you know. But I'm excited for the card here tonight. Yeah, I got 7 plays for you guys here. We're going to rip right down the Major League Baseball card with some Seattle-Baltimore. We'll talk some Philly-Cincinnati. These games pop off before 7 p.m. We've got Atlanta, the Mets. We've got Arizona, Texas for parlay. We've got Boston and Houston, San Diego and San Francisco. I've got one WNBA game. What else? All kinds of shit happening over at Winnable. I've lost track. Lost track. And maybe I shouldn't laugh, but there are quite a few things happening over there. We've got player prop, parlay, 2-leg RBI parlay. We've got WNBA plays. We've got MLB plays. We've got Dana White Contender Series plays. We've got tennis plays, men's tennis out there. So there's a lot happening. I shared quite a few of that over here on the post tab, the Sports Money's YouTube post tab. And so the inevitable. This guy comes in here spouting off about how they're the winningest fucking YouTube channel on fucking planet. And yet we reverse swept the board in baseball yesterday. First time that's happened this season. Knock on wood. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Just got to do better. Bottom line. Work a little bit harder. Study a little bit more. Can't be doing that shit. Just can't do it. However, despite that, still dominating. Nobody wins like we do. And that's just because of three things: tools, technology, and expertise. So I'm confident we'll bounce back. I'm not going to go out there and make excuses and, look at my record over my last 7 years. And we've never had a losing. Fuck that. We're going to work harder. We're going to sharpen the sword a little bit more so that it can cut a little bit deeper. Now, the fortunate part is we won in the WNBA again. So our WNBA record now moves to 11-2-1 since the All-Star break. Nobody is winning more at the WNBA than we are. I'm fairly confident that's a true statement. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yesterday sucked, and we're going to get after it. We're going to do our thing. But I do want to shout out my man, Jay Peasy. I see him up in the chat. He says, advanced marketing pimping. Pimping ain't easy, brother. And you certainly have to work that much harder when you got your boy over here firing down the advanced strategies out there and deploying them on a regular basis. You know, you know what they playing? They playing checkers, man. They're trying to hop that little chip, try to king it. We're out here playing fucking chess. I'm excited, though, for this card, and I'm excited for Dana White Contender Series. So we got to get moving. We don't have a lot of time, as always. This is that final window, the final countdown, as they will, to get ready for what we've got going up. Like I said, I already gave out 3 plays for Dana White Contender Series. I'm excited for this card. What else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Charmin Soft for a minute. Yeah, dude, I know. I see you guys out there. I see Mike Dallas is saying it. It was a rough fucking day yesterday, man. It was. Look, Pittsburgh ties up Milwaukee. Then they get busted up. Plus 180 spot. Okay, they got busted up. Kansas City in the under is a loss. Rain delay fucked us. St. Louis wins. The LA Dodgers lose again to the Angels. The square parlay of the day. One leg kicked out of that stool. Arizona's winning the whole fucking game against Texas. They're up like 5-1, 6-1. And then Texas comes back and wins that game at plus 165. There's a fucking L. Boston's up 2-0 right off the hop. 4th inning rolls around, and Houston just goes on a scoring streak and puts up 7 runs to win that first 5, 7-2. And Oakland loses 7-4. It sucks. Golden State won. Minus 8.5. They did thump them girls. So that was, we could have just done the whole show on WNBA. But we are going to fire back. I'm confident with the toolkits that we have developed. I'm excited for what we have in front of us. So, Charmin Soft B. Jordan Love. I'm not just making it up, and I'm not saying it to give our friend Razor a hard time. That guy is fucking Charmin Soft. You can see it. You can see it in his what is it called there? The his transition there from the fucking college football to the NFL. The combine is the thing I'm looking for out there. And you just watch the way he's comfortable sitting on the bench as a backup. You know, he's making his money. He's a cool kid. And fucking dude gets hurt. Hurts his non-throwing hand. Now he's going to be out probably for the remainder of the preseason. I said it last year. I said it the year before. You can't make it up. Here's the question. Poll question for the day. Would the Packers have won any more Super Bowls if they didn't have Jordan Love and they just kept Aaron Rodgers? I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to go in with that. Because that kid is not the answer. It's just one thing after another. You know, it's when they're soft, they just get banged up and they start carrying dings and dents. You know, it's like, all right, this guy's been fucking, not even been through war. He's just beat up, just gets dinged up a little bit, and he's out for a stretch of time. It's just a tough spot. So what else? Other Charmin soft factors here. The NFL is starting to, some interesting things happening. They're saying Jackson Dart for the Giants might actually get the start. He's outplayed. He's outperformed over there in Giants land training camp. Russell Wilson. Interesting. Also, they're suggesting there might be a sophomore slump for the Washington Commanders with Jaden Daniels. I fully believe in that. We see just about every quarterback falls down in that second year once there's tape on these guys. Texas has moved to the number one squadron in college football. Is there a lot of hype, a little overhype on Arch Manning? Guy looks like a fucking small pony. I'll tell you that. Thoroughbred status for that guy. You could hook him up to a harness and he could pull me around the racetrack. We'd probably come in first place. That dude's thick. Ohio State's opted for their starting quarterback, and that's going to be a lot of fun for that first college football game. Texas, Ohio State. The first time ever the number one and number two schools will meet each other in the opening week of the season. So some fun in football world. Again, we're just 11 days away from college football. We're 23 days away from the NFL. But we are into the thick of it now. Like I said, we've got about 30 minutes to get this thing popping off so we can get ready for none other than Dana White Contender Series. I got 3 plays already. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to lie to anybody. I got 7 plays. I gave 3 of them out already. 2 of them are dogs. I got 1 parlay. I got a couple sides. A couple totals wrapped in there. So we're not devoid of points or opportunities. What you do have to do is you have to make sure you're ready to go. You got to find either whatever book it is, in New York. I won't say the fine folks of New York. Can't use FanDuel or DraftKings. I was relegated to either Bet Online or Bet US. I opted for Bet US because I have an agent over there. And he hooked me up. So that's the way that's going to go. But it's going to start at 7 p.m. as well. So as soon as we turn around this, we'll turn around that. We'll turn around everything else under the sun. We'll turn the whole fucking bus around and we'll get put back in the winning lane here as we get ready to fire. So that being said, though, in show, you guys know the deal. We need your support. You got to hit that thumbs up button here. The most important thing you can do is we get into the most important time of the year to build the most important thing that we have in our names in the bankroll for gambling purposes. Need you to smash that thumbs up button and make some noise. Let them know we're here. Let them know we're doing this thing. Let them know, God damn it, this is the most profitable sports betting show on YouTube. Fact. Smash that thumbs up button if you agree. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lots of ways to support the channel. Appreciate everybody that is here supporting the channel. The most important thing you can do is smash that thumbs up button. Subhuman Gaucho's checking in, and the Subhuman Gaucho says, lock in, gang. The WCS is on the way. The Futon Bets is going to give out the Brewers money line tonight. Vitalis talking about keeping the belt on just a little bit longer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Joe W's here. Oh, you know what's so fucked up about yesterday, too? I mean, you guys might not believe it. I don't care if you do or not. I'm not going to lie to anybody, but see this old paper here? Where we got? See this right here? So I don't know what happened, but I ended up falling asleep a little bit early last night before I could post a KBO play. So we're 9-1 in our last 10 KBO plays. Fucking 3-0 last night. Fell asleep before I could post them. On top of getting the bed. It's hard to imagine the situation that was yesterday. That said, Joe W is here. Nicholas Andy's here. Gerald Jones is here. And he's giving us his best bet. Seattle -1.5. -105 for Gerald Jones. There's Fernando Mendoza. We'll see you in a little bit, my guy. Nicholas Andy's betting the Baltimore -1.5 at +240. Nine Legacies here. Markel's here. Can I get a homer prop? And hello. Sure. Cal Raleigh. There you go. Cal Raleigh. Home run tonight. I put together, sometimes when there's no sports going on in the afternoon, Sharpie got a strike. Hey, man's keeping him off of YouTube. So we couldn't do our 1 o'clock show today. So I capped some baseball, was ready for some RBIs, and turns out I had more time put back into my day. I used to hate when I'd go to fucking sales things and people with meetings and shit. And the meeting's supposed to be an hour, and it'd be like, they last like 40 minutes. And they're like, there you go. I just gave you 20 minutes back in your day. Fuck you. I scheduled an hour. Give me the hour. Go make something up. Go up there and spin some fucking circus balloons. I don't care. I plan in an hour. Anyhow, that being said, I had time put back in my day. And I ran down the list. So speaking of homers, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this parlay. Cal Raleigh, Kyle Schwarber, Byron Buxton, Bryce Turang, Sedana Rafaela, I think is how you say that. And then Nicholas Kurtz for the Athletics. So there's the guys I like for home runs, in case you were curious. I also did an RBI parlay. Cal Raleigh and Kyle Schwarber. So there's some other action in case you guys are in the prop game. I'll give you one more prop. Let me take a look real quick since we're here. We'll talk about some plays. Nobody says we have to go in a certain order, right? Do whatever the fuck we want. We're the winningest damn show in fucking YouTube. We'll do whatever we want. Man, I'll tell you. Don't get me an MMA Jeff started tonight. The thievery in this business is fucking disgusting. And they're not winning on top of it. That's the worst part. Like, you want to charge me $2,000 for your NFL package for I'm not going to pay it. But all right. At least be a fucking winner. You know, I was talking about this the other day. If you're let's just say you're a $10 bettor. You spent $2,000 on somebody's NFL package. Right? That means you have to win 200 times in a row just to be even. Now, reality is these guys are winning at 45%, if that. I got the data. I'll show you. It's not even fun. You know what you do? You save your $2,000. You put the fucking NFL schedule on the board. You take 3 quick shots, put a blindfold on, spin around 3 times really fast, and throw a dart at the board. I'll bet you can win more doing that. And you're going to save $2,000. That being said, Emmett Sheehan for the LA Dodgers. Total strikeouts over 5.5. Current price at DraftKings -105. It was even money earlier today when I played it. Thought process being it's the Angels. It's a bounce back opportunity. When the Dodgers lose, they do come back and fire, and Emmett Sheehan is that guy to fire here against a lineup that, and frankly, as much as I like, well, I don't want to say that. I do like the Angels lineup. You guys know I put them in my top 5, maybe top 6 now. I don't know. It's probably fair to say top 5 because the Cubs have been jockeying around doing jack shit. But as far as Emmett Sheehan is concerned, he's got a fresh slate. Not one player on this side has seen him. So I suspect he gets this the first time through the order. He's also not a short type of guy. He does seem to find a way to get some innings out there. He's a pitch killer. So get Emmett Sheehan over 5.5 strikeouts there. There's a bunch of props, Markel. Shout out to you, Markel. Shout out to Barry. Nicholas Handy likes O'Neal Cruz home run. Silent Rob. Barry says, I think Judge goes yard tonight. I like that under. Honorable mention, first cut, Yankees under tonight. Futon Bet says you could throw a hot dog through that circle. Nicholas Handy. Ivan Herrera home run for St. Louis. Kurtz home run. Kurtz is batting. He's in the leadoff spot tonight, by the way, for you guys that are curious about Nicholas Kurtz. First time he'll be in the leadoff position in his career. Timmy Tushu. Matt Shaw home run for Timmy Tushu. J Main 34. You guys talking all these home runs are going to make me have to fucking stop this circus here. Do I got to do the math? Don't make me do the math. Dude, Cal Raleigh's home runs plus 140. That's why I parlayed it with Kyle Schwarber. It's fucking crazy, dude. Guys, I mean, Schwarber's got 42 home runs, but he gets multiples in a game. So he's probably got 25 games that he's hit them. That means he's got 45 games he hasn't. 50 games he hasn't. SF Niner did 2 8-leg parlays this morning. Lost both by a leg. Well, that's the quickest way to lose an 8-leg parlay. That's what they say. I hear you, dude. David Wallace talking about yesterday being rough. SF Niner says 1 in tennis, 1 in soccer. Jay Peasy. Jay Main says Dodgers. Same price as last night. Robert McCormick's checking in. Jay Main says any other fishy lines other than Dodgers. Cubs line. Blake M. Barry, by the way, Cubs game. Pitching change. So I dropped some knowledge on the Cubs. Did you know a team that's lost their last game by 1 run versus a team that won their game by 1 run, playing the first game of a series, the team that lost by 1 run are 47-27? I found that to be fascinating. Was not expecting that through my business today. But I like that they're fucking around with that lineup. I like the over. I like the Cubs. However, a team that lost Sunday Night Baseball by 1 run in a travel position on the road has lost 16 straight times. 16 times it's happened, 16 times it's lost. That says Toronto could potentially be the play. Barry says Arizona screwed me yesterday. Me too. SF Niner. Nationals cashed for yesterday. Level Plays. What's up, Lovable Plays? Lovable Plays, the big winner this morning. J Main. I said Diamondbacks was 8-0, last 8, first 5. That's true. You did say that, J Main. Fernando Mendoza thinks Skeens gets pieced up. I think tonight's the night they win. I was going to go back after him, but last night at plus 180 and then today at plus 110. Can't do it. Seth Niner says the Trashionals. All right, let's go. We got to get moving out here. Lovable Plays says, guess you'd rather have sacks than picks. Yeah. Peter Grassi is ready. Cedric's here. Stop Geo says on the Braves first 5 minus 1.5 at plus 235. J Main likes Boz under 5.5 case. Vitalis, paper and pen type of guy. I like it. Yeah, I've been transitioning slowly to the computer with the Google Docs, but yeah, it's usually what happens is well, last night, I'm sitting around watching some shit. Robert McCormick says 3 of my books will take DWCS wagers. I'm ready. Perfect. Let's go. Vitalis needs to know Diamondbacks or Rangers. All right, let's get to work. Shout out to all you guys here. Tim Earl's checking in with us. He likes the Braves money lines. Free money tonight, right? Question mark. I think he's being sarcastic. I think something bit my fucking foot. Top of everything else. Vital says you guys can go Mariners versus O's over 9, but if you like props, more Naylor over. All right, let's get this game in. This game's going to pop off here, and I'm still fucking chewing the fat, as they say. There you go. There's the first game. Arr! Something bit me. That's a terrible Forrest Gump impression. All right, so listen, Seattle, Baltimore popping this thing off here. Wind blowing out, favorable hitting conditions. On top of that, 8.1 miles an hour out. Jorge Kirby's been struggling. Dean Kremer, Who knew Dean Kremer was in a position to be a favorite to win this game despite the home dog? 9-0 as a home dog. Dean Kremer finds himself in this position tonight. However, we have intersecting zeros on the over. 7-0 are the Orioles. If they are in a rematch position, not revenge, rematch. Remember, there's a big difference. Rematch, they already beat the team. So if they beat the team and scored less than 15 runs, they're 7-0 to the over. The over has been cooking. If you're smelling what the Rock is cooking, the average runs in those games, 14.2 runs per game, crushing the over. Seattle intersects, and something really did bite my fucking foot up. Good. God damn it. Damn it. Sorry. It's distracting. It just keeps itching. Seattle's 9-0 to the over. When they're on the road, they have rest, and they allow against a team that allows more than 7 hits a game. Very much the Baltimore situation. And they're averaging 13 runs a game. So there you go. I'm going to jump in on this over. I like that Baltimore first 5. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the Baltimore first 5 money line. Just like that. This game's literally going to start in 7 minutes. So we ain't got time to fuck around. Mama, he's doing it again. That man's doing it again. Mama, he's live betting. Okay, onward and upward. We're going to go on to game number 2 on this series here of the slate tonight. I'm so excited to fire that one out there. I didn't even slide the slide. 32 minutes till we start the Dana White Contender Series. I hope you guys are excited. Dallas likes the intersecting zeros. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I cashed this play last night. Surprisingly, some of the extra board. Fuck. Ah. It's a fucking mosquito that just went like whap, 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 whap. You fucker. Let me recalibrate myself. Let me recalibrate. And then I squished him and there's blood all over my foot now. It's fucking gross. This is my blood. You ever been in a car with a mosquito and you swat it and it's bleeding and you're like, man, I didn't even think I got bit. That happened to me not too long ago. And I was like, ugh, God, one of you fucking bleeding bastards all over my leg. Phillies and Cincinnati Reds at Great American Ballpark. Game started off flying yesterday. They had 4-1 popping off out there for Andy Abbott. Ranger Suarez finds himself in a tremendous position tonight against Brady Singer on the other side of the mound. And look, yeah, yesterday, 4-1. The poll was out there. Who's the team to get the job done? In surprising fashion, Twitter voted. I'm trying to put a poll a day up. So if you guys want to get involved and see what's happening, it's a great thing to check out. And surprising fashion, 75-25. The results were the Phillies. I thought it was a sneaky Cincinnati spot, but I did parlay Philly in the under. I told you guys that on the show. I got a little parlay on Philly in the under. I was happy that it cashed. Brady Singer is going to start on the other side of things. He's going to toe the rubber after a disgusting start. The good thing about Brady Singer is after he shits the bed, he fires back. He shit the bed against the Nationals. He went 2.1 innings. That means he was pulled in the top of the third. Gave up 5 hits, 7 runs, 7 earned, a homer. Walked 2 dudes. He only struck out 1 guy. Did not have his goods. What did he do the next game? He fired. By the way, it was a road home situation. Road to Nationals, comes back home, goes 8 innings. Well, into the 8th inning. Only gives up 3 hits, 1 earned run, and it was a homer. 1 loose ball got away from him. 8 strikeouts. Follow that up with 6. Goes on the road to Pittsburgh. Gets shut out 7-0. You know what happens after a team gets shut out. 3.2 innings pitched. It means he was pulled in the 4th inning. Back home now. Is this that element where he fires? I think it is. And we have the trend that proves it here as well. The Reds are 8-0 to the under. If they're in the home dog position after they were a favorite. This is a unique situation where they're the home dog after a game as a favorite. And the only reason they were a favorite is because of Andy Abbott. which was a little crazy because Taiwan Walker has been struggling too. So in all fairness, Ranger Suarez on the other side of things, I think Philly probably finds a way to lock and load this game here. Minus 150 is too rich for my blood, but the under 9.5. Let's see if I can't cash another under in this hitter-friendly ballpark. And see if we can't get that money. Shut the Redbeard says, I voted Cincy. I know you did. I reminded you to vote. Vital says, should have took Andy Abbott first 5, but dumbass manager leaves him out. I hate that, dude. Yeah, I hate that. You know exactly. Someone just cut my foot off. You sure it's not a flea? Fernando Mendoza says. I mean, I haven't had animals in my house in years, so I'm fairly confident. But no, it was a mosquito. I just swatted that son of a bitch right on my foot. Literally. I'd be pissed. I have one room in my house with carpeting. One. It's in my office. I pull that shit out too. There's fleas in here. Yeah, literally one room. Can you believe that? Everything else is hardwood floor and tile. Okay. Upward, onward. Here's the game of the night, I think. The Braves and the Mets are going to pop off, and everyone's been talking about it. Is it Braves? Is it Mets? It's Braves. It's Mets. Who's pitching? I don't know. Spencer Strider. Click. Holmes. Can Holmes do it again? Holmes has been, all day long. Yippity fucking yap with this thing here, with this Braves and Mets game here. I'll tell you, I skipped some trend, or I skipped some cash flow. My bad. The foot thing got me. Really got in my head. Not going to lie to you guys. There's the NHL, September 20th. So close yet so far away. Atlanta Braves, New York Mets. Atlanta Braves, New York Mets. What's going on here? 7:10 start. Oh, this is what's going on. I hate when it does this. All right, let's start there. Let's start with the answer to the problem first. 75% of the bets, 77% of the cash are on the over 8. Not really moving. Not really moving all day today, as a matter of fact. The side is of concern. 69% of the bets and 79% of the cash are on the Mets. It has moved 4 cents in the Mets' direction. I didn't want any business with the side in this game. I mean, look, Spencer Strider's a riddle wrapped inside an enigma. What are we going to see? Doesn't play the underdog role often, just 3 times. First time since 2022 that Spencer Strider's in the dog role. What are they saying? Well, when he's not a favorite of minus 125 or greater, Spencer Strider's 0-5. In other words, the books know something. And they're telling he ain't winning. So I had a tough time with that, but we find ourselves in the dilemma. What happens after the Braves score 5 runs or more and 7 runs or more? We want to fade those teams. So Spencer Strider's in a fade. Can I get involved in the Mets? No, I can't personally. I certainly have a tough time getting into Clay Holmes' business. Now, from relegation perspective, I think the rumor's out. If the Mets, who everybody anointed World Series champions after the first 2 weeks of the season, if they miss the playoffs this year, I heard they're going to relegate this team to AA. They're not even going to go to AAA. They're just going to go to AA, this New York Mets team. And they've lost a shitload of games. Got busted up by Cleveland. Then they play, Milwaukee on the road. They get busted up again. Now they got Atlanta, divisional foe. And that's an issue. This is my favorite. Joe Public looks at it and says, well, shit. This team doesn't score a lot. This team doesn't allow a lot of runs. That's the Mets. It's also the Braves this year, right? It's got to be an under. In fact, the exact opposite happens. When you're a low-scoring team against the league, a low-scoring amount of runs earned against the league, and you're playing a divisional opponent, they go over 63-26. The exact opposite of what everybody thinks is going to happen happens, and it happens a lot, which is pretty awesome. Home series openers, the over reigns true off a loss. That is the Mets. Home series. Excuse me. That is the Braves situation here. 80-37. Regardless, to me in this case, I couldn't get involved on the side. I'm taking the over. I'm looking for runs. Home series opener overs after a loss. Mets did just take that L. I'm just going to look for runs. I hate it too, because you know the guy that lines up for me for runs tonight? Not the polar bear. Brandon Nimmo. Finding Nimmo. If you find him, let him know I'm looking for him. He owes me some fucking money because I have been RBIing that dude all season, and every time I do, he doesn't come through. So it does concern me a little bit. I don't want to be in a position where I need runs. Discount bag play of the day is in alignment. Spoiler alert. I gave out to Silva this morning. Vital says you have 3. Well, I've got some play on trends for the Mets too. Like I'm not just selective. That's a good question. That's a good question. Good teams on a losing streak. Home divisional favorite. Why are they a favorite? They're 51-21 in those spots. I don't know that there's metric. I wouldn't call the Mets a good team. Redbeard knows that. But it's 8-2 in its last 10. Teams on a 2 or more game losing streak versus teams on a 2 or more game winning streak. Hard to get to them 3s plus. And we fade them Braves. I can't do it. I'm just on the over. Just give me some over. Oh, 3 fade. Oh, I see what you're saying. I misread. I just can't do it, dude. I can't do it. It doesn't matter how I play this game. Let me just tell you that. I played it, and I played the over 8. If I play the Mets, the Braves win. If I play the Braves, the Mets win. If I play Nemo, it's Pete Alonso that's getting the home run. If I play Pete Alonso, it's going to be, I think the only prudent thing I could do here is try to take some runs. Let's get some fucking scoring going on here. Road teams going against losing teams are 50-17. Game 1 away teams on a winning streak are 326 and 278. Lots of back and forth. It's a fucking cat slapping ping pong ball festival. Keep me off it. I'll just take the side, or the total rather. Give me the 8. Let's go into this game. You guys had asked about this one. I'm turning the plane right into the storm of adversity. The Texas Rangers lost that game in my mind last night. Now, my bankroll will tell you differently. But what was the big trend? Nathan Eovaldi's like 300-2 when he's in that favorite of more than a 140 position. Remember? And now you got Jack Leiter versus DeSclafani. Again, another situation where I don't want to bite off the first 5 in this game. I like the under. I like that they moved the under up from 7.5. Again, yesterday's game without those late heroics and extra innings, that game was under. That game was Arizona. That game was capped to a T. I can't pull back off it. Look, the Yankees and the Phillies, I told you this yesterday in that series, it busted up. I got bit again. It's a lot of energy and effort. We talked about that entire process yesterday. I can't believe Arizona lost that game the way they did. And I think that you got to look at that if you're Arizona and be like, man, did we give that one away? Can't do that again, especially if we're thinking that we do have any shot at all for the playoffs. This line opened at 142. It's now 152 for Texas with 69% of the bets and 65% of the cash rolling in on the Texas Rangers. And then you look at these two pitchers. You got DeSclafani's got a 4.2 ERA. Leiter's got a 4.05 ERA. How do you get there? Well, road dogs off a loss are 61-42. It's kind of a weird one, isn't it? It's like it's hard to string together multiple losses, I guess. Or are they manipulating the pitching bump? Meaning, instead of starting their number one, they're starting their number two and then changing the rotation so that the number one guy faces their number two. Number one meet number two. Leiter. I'm sorry, DeSclafani. It's a lot to ask this guy to do anything besides throw up his nuts. Meatballs might be his middle name. I'm not sure. He did play 4.1 innings against San Diego. He only gave up 3 hits, no runs. Prior to that, 5-0-4-2. Look, I got the road dog in the bounce back spot. I liked him yesterday. I thought that they just got fucked. And then some. And the unders. How did I get to the unders? The unders lit up the dashboard today for the Texas Rangers here. 52-22 to the under after a win. 29-12 to the under against the NL West. If they score 6 or more runs, 15-3 to the under. So I'm going for the big score. No, I thought about it as I made it. And I thought to myself, are you just chasing those units from yesterday? And the answer is no. I think independently on its own, I can get behind both these plays. In fact, the total's at 8.5. So I teased it up to that key number of 9. I thought it was alarming and telling that they gave us the 8.5 out there. And I thought this is low investment, high reward, right? Low risk, high reward. I mean, they're all risk, but when I mean risk in this case is your investment. Picking up what I'm putting down? Y'all speed up. I want it to slow down for y'all to catch up. It's one of my favorite quotes. You guys know who says that, don't you? Come on. All right, we got 17 minutes until the Dana White Contender Series pops off, and I am going to be ready to fire. Let's go to this Boston Red Sox Houston Astros game. I mean, my head tells me Boston's got to be in a position to come back and fucking fire. Mariners are already up 1-0. Who scored it? Naylor singled. Naylor was all over the board today too. Fuck. All right, let's go over. Red Rover. Let's get that over. Red Sox, when do the Red Sox get their head and their ass wired on the same page? They've been scoring a ton of runs. That is a fact. Spencer Spaghetti Arrighetti was on the pitch count last game. Dustin May, the guy that's come over, the old redhead, makes his trip on over from the Dodgers. If the Dodgers are willing to give you up, you're probably not the answer. And what did we see? His first start for Boston. Puked his nuts up. 3.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 strikeouts. That was at home. I say that with air quotes because he was on the road prior. Against Kansas City. That was the only game that Kansas City won in that stretch. And we called it specifically and said, no fucking pitcher that's been traded, let's fade his ass. If the Dodgers are willing to get rid of you. Now, that being said, I think some things have subsided here. I think these boys got to play some ball. I think we're looking at both these pitchers in a position where they can go out there and shove. Arrighetti, 3.2 innings, got busted up, 11 hits his last start. So you're looking at it going under. Why are you taking the under here? What are you thinking? What are you seeing? Well, I'm seeing a couple of things. One, I do suspect May should be able to shut these boys down. I mean, he's played in big games and big moments for them Dodgers, and the Houston Astros in the AL. This is a battle right now. This is a playoff battle on deck for these boys. As I was looking at some of the numbers, I guess, behind him, yeah, the numbers certainly are a little scary. But I see this total went from 8s to 8.5s to 9s. So now I got a full run. 94% of the bets, only 90% of the cash are just thinking this is a field day because they're looking and they see 7.43 ERA, 7.36 ERA. I almost fell into that trap in the first place myself. But the Stros are the ones that are dominating this thing, and home unders after a 1-run win are 168 and 109. Home favorites in general after a 1-run win are 123 and 79. And for whatever reason, at nighttime in Houston, the ball doesn't like to fly at 72 and 46 to the under. So I'm going to go out there. I'm gonna fade that full run movement. And I got the even money spot out there too. So I'm kind of maximizing my ROI and my CLV. Also, something I look for. Remember we talked about this like 2 years ago at that other place. Which book has the best number? And we decided when it was FanDuel. It's not true anymore. It's not the FanDuel truth anymore. But I'll tell you this: when Caesars has a better number than everybody else this close to pitch, you're in the right company. I think Caesars API pushes the number late, which means now we're seeing late movement to the under in this game, and that's exactly where I want to be. Give me the under 8.5. Let's lock her down. Let's move on to this last game for the baseball card. I got one WNBA play, and then we're going to get started with the Dana White Contender Show. Going to be fun. Can't wait. San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants. This was a double casher for me last night that I added late that I fucking passed out before I could give it to anybody. It doesn't even make sense. I don't even know what was going on that I fucking zoinked out like that last night. I don't know. What was yesterday? Am I at that point now where after a big drunk on Saturday night, it takes me 2 days to be hungover? Maybe that's part of the problem. Could be. Yeah, Peter Gracia says May's so hittable. Sox are going to smash. Cash Nailer RBI says Robert Franklin. Good on you, my dude. Let's go. I love reading you guys' comments there. They make me chuckle. Here's one for you guys to chuckle at. We're going to take the under. This Giants line, minus 134, moved to minus 115. I really almost fired on the Giants today. And I see this reverse movement. 53% of the bets, 61% of the cash. Because I just find it in my head tells me this is one of those teams where they don't score a lot of runs, but the Padres are certainly in position to go out there and not score a lot of runs. You have 85% of the bets, 84% of the cash on the over in this game. You haven't had any movement. You got Robbie Ray. This is the important piece. This is where I was looking at the Giants and thinking, this guy's got that 2.85 ERA, and he's been battling, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's put a pin in that. Nestor Cortez. Not only does he rock a fucking hideous porn stash, well, he used to. He also rocks a disgusting ERA of 9.0. It's brutal. And we know that the Giants are one of the lowest scoring teams on the season, particularly at home. This is one of those teams that can fuck something up. They got shut out 8-0. They lost again 4-1. Now, granted, in series, different, right? So like they shut Washington out 5-0. Well, guess what happens? You shut a team out, they come back and they win. Washington won that next game 4-2. Then Washington beat them 8-0. And then San Diego thumped on them as well. 5 straight unders. The question is, what do you see out of the Padres? Now, the Padres obviously made that big turn for acquisitions at the deadline, kind of reshuffled the deck more than just kind of went after any. Well, that's not entirely true, but they picked up Furman. Lariano was a big spot out there that they, Tatis, Arise, Machado, Bogart. I mean, they got a nice looking squad. I don't know why they can't find hits. Reality is they're in trouble, though, with Robbie Ray on the other side of this thing. And this is where I got to the under, because I looked at it and I said, well, we've got some intersecting zeros again. We love intersecting zeros. San Diego Padres 10-0 to the under when they're facing a lefty. You guys know how much I love the unders and the lefties. When the total's less than 9.5, they're averaging 5.5 runs a game on total. 5.5. San Francisco 12-0 to the under if they scored less than 2 runs as a favorite. That team just struggles to score. They're averaging 5.4 runs in those games. And here's Robbie Ray to come over the top with the old flying knee. 13-0 to the under. Home favorites after a road start as Robbie Ray gets pitches better at home, settles into that home ballpark in the favorite role. He's allowing totals in those games, 5 runs. So I'll jump on this under 7.5 to close out the MLB portion of the segment today. Segment. Whatever. Rose Miller likes the Cubs. I get it. I just didn't like that pitching change. I mean, if I got some bets in there and I'd take action, so I'm just not going to give it out to you guys at this point because some last minute Fugazi. It's a Fugazi. It's a fake. Speaking of fake, we got some big-time line movement here in these games. The Wings and the Fever. I got a fever. Medicine is more unders. How about that? 165.5. You know we want to be at the tail end of these things here. The Fever have been beating the absolute piss out of the Wings pretty much every time they play them. Thing is, the Wings started picking up some wins. It was just a couple weeks ago. They had 3 wins on the season. They're now 8-24. I know there's no Caitlin Clark. That's still kind of been the deal, and that does concern me just a little bit because that's a lot of points to have to go out there and see these girls, dunk. They just had that big game, 92-70 against the Chicago Sky. No Angel, no Caitlin. What a miserable fucking game that had to be. That being said, the Wings are struggling to crack that 75-80. Well, they're struggling to get more than 77 points is what it comes down to. And I just think this is one of those spots where we want to be on the back end of all this movement, and the movement at 171. I like the Fever. I do. I almost fired on the Fever. But just getting to be too many points. 9.5. They're going to win this thing by 14 or 15. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to look live. If this fucking game's tied at halftime, which it seems like we've seen a lot of these, we're going to be picking up the Fever around 4.5, which is almost where the number opened up to start this show. So that being said, that's it. That's how we're going to put a bow on this show. We're going to take the Fever. Keep in mind, we're 11-2-1. Nobody wins more at the WNBA than we do. I'm not even a basketball guy. I do it for you guys. I enjoy making the money, but let's go. Let's get this cash. Let's talk a little bit live here about that second game. I got a couple thoughts on how the Liberty and Sparks look to attack. You guys know the deal. The Sparks have gotten like 14 straight overs. They're playing at home, but I don't think that's the way you want to look tonight. I really like the under 90.5, under 91s for the Liberty. The problem is it's come down to 89.5s on their team totals. Makes me feel like they find a way to nestle themselves right into a 90, but is the wrong team favorite. We'll talk about it later here tonight. We're going to pop back off in just a couple of minutes for Dana White Contender Series. Get your cocktails ready. Get those bank accounts lined up. Maybe you got to go to some of those non-domestics as I do, in which case I don't care. Just pay me. We're going to build these bankrolls with Dana White Contender Series over the next 10 weeks. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Thank you for checking the show out. And I want to give a plug and shout out to Winnable. Go out there, support us for the action. You guys know the deal. We love silver and gold members supporting the channel. You can support your favorite cappers here, the crew on Sports Money. Over at Winnable, we're running a blowout sale right now. I told you guys, the bullshit, the ripping people off stops here. We're drawing a line in the sand. You're not paying $2,000 to just get somebody's NFL package. You're getting all sports. 6 months, we're giving you 2 free on top of that. Check out Winnable. Get those text alerts if you haven't done so already. Free plays, premium plays, last minute plays, KBO plays, you name it. They're over there at Winnable. See you guys. It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.